I wanted to talk today about special needs planning and what that entails and who it's appropriate for. So when we talk about special needs planning, it's generally going to include planning for families who have a beneficiary or child, and is most often the example of the beneficiary, who has a current disability that either currently qualifies them for government means-tested benefits or will likely qualify them for government means-tested benefits sometime in the future. So it could be congenitive, could be developmental, could be a physical disability, whatever the circumstances. The qualifier is that it needs to be such that they may be qualified either currently or in the future for these government means-tested benefits. And the reason why I'm saying means-tested is that's why we plan. So SSI and Medicaid are usually the benefits that we're planning for, and what we're planning to do is to protect them. So the way you protect is to divert or protect the beneficiary from receiving additional assets because those benefits are means tested. So what I mean by means tested is you have to have below $2,000 in assets in order to qualify. So any modest inheritance is going to disqualify a beneficiary from those benefits, and oftentimes inadvertently. So a lot of this is proactive planning. You're planning well in advance for the unexpected, whether it be illness or accident, whatever could take place. You're planning well enough in advance so that there isn't unexpected consequences as to the minor or the beneficiary, even if it's an adult with special needs. So that can usually come in a couple different forms, the planning. You're looking at usually an ABLE account, which is going to be basically a 529 account that's specifically meant for protecting those sorts of benefits, or you're looking at a special needs trust. And before we even get that far, you kind of do an analysis as to the financial means of the family and also the financial needs of the beneficiary. So what they are going to need long term for really the rest of their lives for their own support. Now, whether that be the day-to-day expenses, room and board, medical expenses, those sorts of things, that's what we're talking about with long-term support. So if a beneficiary is very young, their life expectancy may be very long, especially if they don't have an illness or disability that has a prognosis that will lead to their death in a short period of time or in the near future. So for families like that, if they don't have at least a couple million or $1 million to $2 million in assets to leave behind for that beneficiary, we really have to divert whatever that inheritance will be to some sort of planning mechanism, whether it be an ABLE account or a special needs trust. And the reason why we do that is to maintain the benefits and provide a way to supplement the benefits that are already in place rather than supplant them. So rather than substituting in support for existing benefits. So now, while I'm speaking specifically to SSA regulations and Medicaid regulations, there's also statewide special assistance, there's food stamps, there's a wide variety of government means-tested benefits that the beneficiary may qualify for. But when I do special needs planning, we're specifically catering to regulations surrounding Medicaid eligibility and supplemental security income eligibility, which are the two big ones. The supplemental security is going to give monthly income to the beneficiary, and the Medicaid is going to give ongoing medical assistance for whatever ails them. So the 529A, the ABLE account, and the special needs trust have very different pros and cons, and I'm going to do a video tomorrow about that. But this is why we plan. It's so that not only are you preserving these assets or these beneficiaries or the benefits for your beneficiaries, but you're also setting them up for long-term success by appointing a trustee or a guardian to take care of them when you're no longer able to. So with the trust, you're appointing a trustee. With the 529, you may have a caretaker or a guardian who's appointed to manage those funds. But overall, what we're trying to protect against is the death of parents that inadvertently disqualifies their children or child from their government means-tested benefits. So it's important to get in and do the planning ahead of time and being proactive, because it's a lot easier to be proactive than trying to fix the mistakes or fix the issues after the fact, especially with the bureaucracies involved in Social Security. So plan ahead. It's always the best way to go.